All right. Hey there, everybody. Thank you for joining me for Empire Interviews, another episode with Crypto Nightly. Today, I'll be talking to the Promo Facie team. I'm super excited to hear about this one because we've been really excited about Promo Facie. I know in almost every single nightly live stream, we've talked about how much we enjoy using Promo Facie, how responsive the team was, and how great it was for our community, for marketing, for engagement, and for getting a tool that we can really use in our Discord to encourage our community to be active and attentive. But I was excited to speak with the team. So today we're going to talk to the team and see what they're building and ask about the future and what Promo Facie is long-term going to be building. We're super excited for this interview, but without further ado, let's get into it. All right. Hey there. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
All right. So for everybody out there who's not 100% familiar with you, especially in Web3, right? Most people have a little PFP or they have some representation of themselves. Tell everybody your name and what your actual role is with Promo Facie. You're one of the founding parties, I believe.
Sure. On X and Discord, I'm CC Sam, and my first name's Craig. So please call me either one. I'll respond. And just a brief background about myself. I got into crypto in 2020, and then as Cardano, started NFTs, that piqued my interest. I was pretty skeptical at first, but maybe as a lot of people know, once you get involved, you realize the sort of instinctual, human nature part of it. It's collecting, it's nesting, it's the social part, of course, the financial interest, everyone has too. But they're addicting for sure in many respects. And so I began investigating, of course, all the Cardano, specifically, mostly because of the blockchain structure of the Cardano NFTs versus NFTs on other blockchains.
Here's a question,
Yeah.
sorry, that I like to ask everybody when they find their way to Cardano. What was it actually that brought you to Cardano? How did you hear about it? A lot of times it was the whiteboard videos from Charles, but I just want to know what it was that drew you to Cardano, because a lot of people that are here love it because of the tech and then how it works and the user interface, like how the experience is of using it. But there are many blockchains. So tell me about how you got to Cardano.
Yeah, there weren't very many research articles or anything like that when I was looking around. There's a Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, of course, Ethereum. But then there was this Cardano, which was a little different. I kind of got a flavor of the philosophy, of Charles Hoskinson. And so that just aligned with me. That was interesting to me just by itself. That the kind of intention, that the blockchain has, that Charles has for it. So I did not see the whiteboard video initially, but then as a U.S. based customer, you might say, it was impossible to buy ADA, and so finally. eToro, which is based in the UK, finally they listed it, and I was able to make my first purchase that way. So I laddered in, very gradually, very slowly, very cautiously. But as I did, learn more, gain more confidence. So that's how I got it.
Fantastic. So one of the things that I always like to know about everybody I talk to is what was kind of like what was it that you were doing before crypto? Because I feel like typically once people start to think differently, once they're, sometimes when they're talking about Bitcoin, they'll say orange pilled. Like after you've kind of like taken the pill of Web3 and crypto and owning your own assets, it kind of like typically makes a split in the road for everybody. So I want to know what was it that you did before that point, whenever you heard of crypto, and when was the first time you heard about Bitcoin?
Yeah, my career, my background's in business management, also education, and the I would just say that that ethos of the sort of, be your own bank, kind of philosophy, and the problems we have, at least in the U.S., with our Federal Reserve and other institutions. Um, I was aware of that, um, but not into that mindset yet. Not until after I got into crypto, and then studying not just Cardano, but Bitcoin, other blockchains as well. Lots of influencers, crypto, YouTube, Twitter, etc. Um, I just educated myself on that, and of course now it's just a part of me. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah,
I think
could,
it's really, really difficult after you have kind of like seen beyond the curtain. You
mhm,
can't unsee it. So it's like my dad is significantly older. I'll say significantly older. Whenever I try to talk to him, he's like, "What do you mean? Fort Knox has all the gold in it. All the dollars are backed by gold." And I'm like, "Dad, actually, when you were like 30, they took it off the gold standard. So
yeah,
it's actually not that way. Money is actually worthless, and we all work harder. While they print more money, it makes our value even less. So you work all week long, 40, 50 hours a week, sometimes 60, 70 hours a week in order to afford to pay your bills, in order to buy food for your family. But at the end of that month, that money that you already got paid buys you less food, pays less bills, and it's kind of like a whole. It's the rat race. It's the rat
yeah,
race. Um, okay, so business management is your background, and you said also in education.
yeah,
I love that. It is my both my parents were professors, and so like the whole ethos there, I think, is very powerful and empowering, and kind of fits hand in hand with crypto. Um, as far as the way that this technology has been evolving, what things are you the most excited about for the future, as far as what these principles and what this technology can actually is capable of long term?
well, it is to bypass the existing financial system, and it is to own your own assets, like truly. And so with that mindset, I think that will really affect the way people make decisions, the way they behave in life. And so, like, I just think maybe it's going to be 20 years or who knows how long, but however long that process takes, there'll be a critical mass at some point, and just like our community of early adopters, that's going to happen. It's going to change the way they behave, and the world is going to be a better place for that.
I agree. I agree. Actually, that is one of the things that has been pretty consistent with this channel and how myself and co-founder feel about the direction. But there's also kind of like a little bit of a worry, because it's like everybody in crypto is excited that these large institutions are adopting it, but they're actually kind of like a lot of the bad actors that we want to keep out, right? So it's kind of like an oxymoron in that sense. But I do believe that the trajectory of where we're going is overall very positive, is going to give the power back to the people, as where it should have been always, right? A government should fear its people. Its people should not fear government, because the government is made of the people, by the people, for the people. But yes. Anyways, tell me about Promo Facie.
All right. When we were community managers, we just really were feeling the the opportunity, but maybe some stress. How can we do this? How can we pull this off? It's a bear market. Um, Maybe everyone's struggling, and what's needed. And so we we talked a lot. We studied a lot. We examined, of course, all the projects we're personally involved in, but also learning about all the ones that we could, especially ones that were successful and showed promise, and made contacts. We we kind of settled on this kind of foundational idea, as that every NFT project, and now every meme coin project, etc., they have to have a community, and it has to be, I would just say, that type of loyal community everyone would like, and that can be created. And so it's how you go about doing that in an honest way, a respectful way, uh, that's sustainable. And so we just thought about different ways, different things, thought them through logically, tested quite a few, um, and so we came up with this basic idea, and that is that a new, let's say, especially a new NFT project that wants to grow, they have to have a voice, and they have to have some way to get the train moving, which is very difficult. And then an existing project who's maybe stalling or maybe declining, they need also that same ability to regroup and to create excitement, create energy, create enthusiasm. And what we're building is what maybe people might have called a metaverse in the past, but everyone knows that has a tainted name because of all the failed projects. But what we want is a great, fun, exciting place for the community to hang out, to be. And it'll be awesome if it's in 3D. And so we love the ideas of the photorealistic avatars. You can create, design, and wear your project apparel on your avatar. You can create, design, and have the tools, if you're playing a game, weapons, boosts, all of those things. Like, that's fun, that's exciting. The other part of that stool is that, we're using crypto, we're using tokens, and how do you utilize that effectively? How do you make that, in a sense, a financial gain for everyone, and not just a hype and a dump, and people walk away upset? And so this idea of giving projects tools that they need at a very low cost, like almost minimal cost, but yet you're creating this flow of circulation that makes everyone whole, that makes everyone profitable. You're providing actual value, real value. And so projects can use this platform to make clippable content, which they can use to promote their own project. You don't even have to be in Web3. A Web2 gamer who sees this kind of activity is attracted and wants to be there socially, and enjoy the games. They're playable, they're fun, they're exciting. And that Web2 customer doesn't have to have any contact with crypto. They're just there, just like they're playing some other Web2 game. But when they see other players owning items that they have, they're going to inquire. Like, I have a boost, but you guys own it, you trade it, you can sell it, you can make your avatar worth more money, and this is somehow something you can do. So that kind of natural education is a way to bring in a much larger audience than Web3 into, let's say, an NFT, but a CNFT project, hopefully. And so, that's one avenue. Another leg of the stool is that we want to be able to use a project token, which has very little value, but we want that to be used frequently, often. We want many people to buy small amounts of the project tokens and have microtransactions. Well, you can't do that with blockchain fees. And so we've worked with farm bots, and we have this ledger system so that the microtransactions are viable. And you can use project tokens for a real value. And so that's what the bigger vision is, what we call the promo platform. And then working backwards from there, we have created what we call the promo engine, or some people would call it a promo bot, which is the engagement bot for Discord, where you can raid X posts. Okay, so that's the basic functionality. However, we've taken that idea and really expanded it. And so if a project wants to promote, the workload of the community manager, of the mod, or the founders, it can be crazy.
Definitely a lot.
You do one promotion and you're sick of it. Like, that was enough for that month, so we wanted to completely automate that. And so that's what the promo engine is about. So if you want to do any kind of a contest or raid in your Discord with your community, the payout, the selection of winners, the structure of whatever that promotion is, it's set up in advance, quickly, easily, on a dashboard. You don't have to, any code at all, but you're just going to use drop-down menus to do whatever it is that you want and offer rewards. It can be tokens, it can be whitelist, whatever you want. And once you set that up, it runs by itself and you're done. As the mod or the community manager, you're out of it, because the winners are selected, the payouts are done automatically, or depending on what the payout is, maybe they're viewed, by the winner automatically. And so that's the other leg of the stool, is that everything is completely automated, and that has some indirect effects where if it's your project, whether you're the founder or the mod, you want to do promotions now. It's fun, it's easy. It's like, why not? And you can spend your time being super creative with the tools that you have, and keep your community buzzed and interested and going like that.
Absolutely. So our experience with the Promo Facie bot has been fantastic. First of all, the setup was amazing. All of you were very responsive. We got it set up very quickly. We use it many, many times every single day. I've seen the updates that there are a bunch of new games, a lot of new different types of things that we're going to be able to do in Discord with our community. One of the fun things is we're actually going to have a token airdrop in the future. And so this allows us to track points of how much people are engaging, so that we will be able to transfer those points one-to-one to the new token that we'll be airdropping in the future. This is a way to incentivize our community to engage, as well as it will have its own purpose inside of our ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Promo Facie is pretty much a Discord bot, but there is a whole platform that you all are building out around this, and that's very, very exciting. It has been very successful as far as our use of it, and we would encourage everybody else to use it. Also, we're going to have all the links and everything to find Promo Facie, so you can use it for your own project. I see that we have Gavin here, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap you out for Gavin. I'm going to ask Gavin some questions, get to know him a little bit, and then I'll have you both up, and then we'll go from there.
Nice.
All right. Now I'm here with Gavin. How are you doing today, Gavin? Tell me a little bit about yourself. Give us an introduction and tell us about your role in Promo Facie.
Hey, John. Yeah, I'm the ideas guy. I'm the guy who goes to Craig and say, does this work? And goes to Panos and says, hey, can you code this for me? And he screams, no, please, no more. I'm that guy. So, yeah, me and Craig, we run the community and promotion side of Promo Facie. And then the third cog in the wheel is Panos, who's our dev. So
that's fantastic.
You see me in Discord as Mr. Symbols.
Okay, fantastic. I love that. So as I was saying, us over here at Jpg Empire and Crypto Nightly, we've really enjoyed using the Promo Facie bot. It was amazing to set up. It was very easy. You guys basically set up everything for us. We didn't have to know too much of anything. It was very simple, and we use it probably at least 9 times a day. excited. I'm excited to hear about the games and different things that you all have put in there. I know that you've recently put something out about a treasure hunt feature. So I wanted to see if you could tell us a little bit more about those things that are going on with Promo Facie.
Yeah. The treasure hunt is live now on the dashboard. So anybody who uses the promo engine, which is what we're calling it now, we used to call it the promo bot, but a lot of people aren't familiar with Discord. So that when they hear bot and they hear X, they're
It's very
thinking of
complicated.
something that generates loads of fake replies and stuff. And we've all seen botted tweets that look absolutely dreadful. Like they've got 1 million views on them, and every single one is someone tagging someone, tagging someone, tagging someone, and they go nowhere and they have no impact for all of the impressions, you know? So we were quite clear that we wanted to differentiate ourselves from that. If you're a regular Discord user, you're used to the word bot, because a bot just means like a little app that runs in your Discord and everybody's comfortable with that. So yeah, we had to differentiate that. With the engine, it does some really cool things. Like I'm sure Craig's covered with you earlier, it automatically raids any of your posts on X. You can generate a raid on anybody's X posts. You just have to copy the link to it, paste it in, and you can start a raid. You can also do paid raids where, because we're using the farm bots, you could do a partnership with somebody else and they give you some of their token, you give them some of yours, and then you run a paid raid in each other's servers and you give out your token as a prize to people that have participated in it. And you can do all of that. And that's really great. We've added other interactions, like if you do rumbles in your server, which is quite common for a lot of projects, or if you do farm wars, which is a bit better than a rumble, but a similar kind of thing. We built a way of automatically paying out. So when someone wins, it pays out. And if that person's a holder, it pays them a holder bonus. So that's quite a cool thing. The way our engine works, because you've got buttons in Discord and you can type in you can press like, and then the like happens on X. You can press, repost and it gets reposted on X. You can write a reply that goes straight to X. Because you can do that and it's so easy, and every single time someone does an interaction, they get a little dopamine hit from a message that says, you've just earned points. And anyone can pull up their points, pull up their leaderboard status anytime using the promo engine. And that gets people doing every interaction reliably. So a lot of the time when people like start raids, you've got to be redirected to one place and redirected to another place. And, people in crypto, especially at the moment, aren't renowned for, deferred gratification. So there's a short attention span. And the minute you've redirected someone, you've lost the energy. So if you can keep them where they are, where they're happy, and give them a way to easily do something, then they'll probably do it, especially if there's points involved and rewards involved. That's what's going to break the link. Now, when you get everybody doing all three interactions, you will get a boost in your X impressions. It will be noticeable. Like we're quite new. We've got 206 followers on X, but there's not one of our posts that's got less than 400 impressions, and quite a lot of them are over 1,000. So it's clearly working demonstrably. One thing that we really wanted to try and solve was, if you did want someone to go to X, so for example, content like this, video content, the more time that people spend watching it, the more the X algorithm propels it and shows it to other people. Same with images, stuff like that. And we came up with an idea for treasure hunts. So with treasure hunts, the project can go to their dashboard. So anyone who takes our engine gets their own dashboard, so they can customize everything 24/7. You can go to your dashboard now and you can say, right, I'm going to start a treasure hunt. You put in elements separated by commas. So an element could be a word, it could be a number, it could be multiple words, it could be words and numbers. So I could say 400 million tokens, comma, and 400 million tokens would be one element. And so I set those elements in the dashboard. I can set the number of winners or leave it blank so that it pays everybody who completes the treasure hunt. I can possibly award a role if I want to, in addition as a prize. And then I can start that, set the time span, and then start the treasure hunt. Now, this is a game changer because a lot of the time you put out an announcement and people emote under it. And so you see all of these emotes, and then people come and ask you a question that shows that they blatantly haven't read the announcement. They don't know what's going on. Now, if you've got all of these cool things going on, you want people to know about it. So, of course, getting stuff moving on X, that's one way to do it. But how do you complete the loop and make sure people are actually having meaningful interactions? Like there's a ton of tools out there that you can use where you can schedule a thing and a load of people turn up and like, subscribe, join you, get some points. But they don't interact. They're just there to click the buttons and do what they've got to do. They ask their friends, what are the answers to this? They put it in and then they get their points and their reward and then they move along. But that doesn't do anything sustainable for your project. So the idea behind the treasure hunts is you could go to your announcement, pick some elements from there, the key branding that you want for your project, and now declare there's a treasure hunt. It could be some ADA. It could be like 5 people are going to win 5 ADA. That 25 ADA spend is more than worth it to get your key branding across to people. And now once people know there's a prize involved, they're no longer treating your announcement as an arduous task to read because they're incentivized. They want to find the missing elements. There's a gamification element to it that, hey, this is a game and I want to find the clues and this is fun. But I could win a prize here. So then they go scouring through your announcement, they find the elements, and it's a proven fact. If you have to look for something and then you have to type it out, that's embedded in your brain in a way that you just can't get these things across to people. So, that's what we created there. So for yourself, like with Crypto Nightly, if you were running a promotion where every show, you were going to release a list of elements, people can, win a prize. That you could make the prize a roll and then tip everybody who's got the roll some extra credits. So if they're trying to qualify for, your token that's coming up, then they'll be going to that treasure hunt every time, trying to find that key information every time, and then trying to win more tokens. If you've got a really important guest on and you want to like really make the most of it, then you can do a more generous treasure hunt. And it sounds like quite a simple thing, but it solves a hell of a lot of problems that projects have. It's great for getting your branding across and getting people to pay attention. And, it's also very good for, if you're on X, making sure people are engaging with your content and things are moving through the algorithm. So we're a community manager all in one little app. And at the moment, for the first 100 projects that get in with us, it's only $10. After that, it's going to be going up to $15 a month.
So how many spots are left for the $10 a month?
Currently, there's 80 left. We've
80
got
left.
17 that are live, 3 that are going live. So, we've not really done...
That's
We've
exciting.
not really done any major marketing yet, so this really just word of mouth at the moment.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to Cattlebury and Commander over in the Lurkers and Angel Finance, because we were previously using a different tool, and I'm not going to say which one it is because we felt really bad that we were using it. Once we were using it, we were going to change it for something else, but already had everything else set up. But the person that was heading that project just disappeared. They vanished. They vanished, took all the funds, and this was the second time that they did that. So when we finally came around to Promo Facie, it was kind of like we had to, but we were so excited to finally move on to something else. You guys made setting everything up so easy, and I love the tools. We have some people out there. Shout out to Fozzie. I know that Fozzie is probably going to watch this, but Fozzie is one of the many people in the community that has just I think he's the top of the leaderboard, to be honest, typically. So shout out to Fozzie. There's his a little flowers to Fozzie. But Gavin, the question that I haven't asked you yet, and that I want to know a little bit more about yourself. So obviously you have an incredible accent. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you in the world, and kind of how you came about crypto, and then how you landed on Cardano.
Yeah, sure. I'm in the UK. 2008 was a pivotal moment for me. I was talking to some friends, and everything was going down, the big banking crisis. And a friend of mine said to me, what are pound notes backed by? So we have pound notes in the UK. And I'd never really thought about it, but I just assumed it had to be linked to GDP, or there had to be something that was backing it up. It says on our notes, promise to pay the bearer upon demand. But I actually couldn't get my head around it. And so it bothered me. And the other thing was, people said that money had been wiped out. Now, if we had gold coins on the table or Bitcoins don't get wiped out, they get transferred. So how can you talk to me about something being wiped out? It makes no sense. It's illogical. The mind repels it. If you then start studying what the financial system is and what everything is built on, it's a moment. It's a very scary moment, because it changes your view on the world. Suddenly, you even start looking at things like the Wizard of Oz, and you're like, wow, that's profound. Didn't see that before. And it's like the whole world has changed. Then I found myself looking, well, what's going to happen? I can see a conclusion here. I can see a trajectory. I can only see one way this goes. So the answer must be gold. And at the time I was buying gold and silver, Bitcoin was coming around. And I listened to the people talking about Bitcoin. And I was like, they are crazy. And, I listened to, so I'm like, how do we solve a problem with Bitcoin, right? So what's the structure behind this? Well, basically a load of devs in a room shout at each other, and somehow it gets worked out, and they might split the whole chain. And it all just seemed too chaotic to me to be, real. But then I watched cycle after cycle after cycle while this Bitcoin thing just kept growing and growing and growing. So I kept looking back. I kept looking for something to actually make sense to me. And then I listened to Charles talking, and he was talking about the whole plan for decentralized governance and a treasury to work things out and pay for things. And I was like, that makes sense to me. So that was it. I started jumping in then, got into Cardano. Really, I'm a massive Cardano maxi. I hold some other tokens, but nowhere near as much as I own ADA. And I was listening to Charles a lot in the early days, and when smart contracts were going live, like he done one of his talks, and he said, don't ask about what Cardano can do for you and how much Cardano can make you. There is like a whole lot of economic potential exploding here. Ask what you can do, and if you don't know what your role is in it yet, you might not be the dev. You might not, but there will be something that you can find in this ecosystem that you can do that feeds back. And so just found myself getting more and more involved, got involved trying to help a couple of projects, watched the absolute, disaster that was early CNFT. And here we are now.
Absolutely. I love that. And that's fantastic. So many good points there were made. I think that one of the things that most people struggle with is before they get over the hump, that is a very hard hump to get over, where it's like, actually, money doesn't mean anything. It's not worth anything. There's nothing behind it. It's literally worthless paper that we have faith in, right?
Yeah.
So really, money is kind of honestly just a religion. You just believe that it's real and hope that it is real. But there is nothing, there's no verifiable way to prove it at all. So I really love a lot of the things that you said there. But once people get over that, then they're like thinking about Bitcoin and thinking about crypto. And it's like, oh, but it's, it's digital. It's not physical. It's not a physical thing. I can't like do anything with it. Right. So how could it have value? But then when you go down the rabbit hole, I was going to say, and you realize that there's a mass difference in society nowadays. Most of your money is in a bank. It's really just numbers and zeros on a computer that doesn't actually attribute to anything. They don't have the money there. But then when you go to crypto, you can look at the blockchain. There's a certain amount of value or assets there. There's always an objective number, whereas the objective number in regular financial markets, it's fake, because over 90% of currency is created by banks that are not authorized and, but by governments that are just printing more. The debt ceiling is about to go up by 4 trillion at least very soon here in the United States. And that just means, hey, we're going to print more money. We're allowed to have more debt, even though our income doesn't offset our spending. But yeah, 100%.
You can't not have debt.
Yeah.
Like if 10% of the world attempted to repay its debt tomorrow, there would be no money in circulation. Like that's why there's the obsession with growth. You have to continually expand the system to pay off the debts from before. And if you attempt to actually settle all of the debts, you'll be taking all of the actual money that's in circulation and taking it out of circulation. So it literally cannot happen. Like, I mean, without going too far down the rabbit hole there, but if people don't want to listen to what we're saying, because I know that it sounds strange. And I know when I first started finding out about these things, your logical mind repels it because it's so absurd. But there's a simple, task you can do here. If your fiat currency goes down in value, what use is it to you? None. Maybe you can burn it and you can keep warm with it. That's happened in some countries. If ADA goes down in price, I can still spend it at JPEG Store. I can still do things with it on apps. I can still go to Levy. I can still buy Angel tokens and let them make some money for me. There's still things I can do with it. I can pay for economic energy on a blockchain and do meaningful things with it. So if you're unsure at all, ask yourself that question. What do you want? Do you want a money that when it goes down is worthless, or do you want a money that when it goes down, everyone's going to rush to buy it and you can still do actual things with it? I mean, surely that's more logical.
Absolutely. All right. So, two of the questions that I really love to ask everybody that I speak to, because it kind of gives us a feel for who you are as a person. I think that a lot of times people on the outside of crypto, they look at us inside of crypto and they're like, this is some niche, strange community, very small, that's just kind of out of the box, right? That's kind of what they think. But I often try to make it a point to humanize us, because we're all here because technology is changing, innovation is happening. This is basically I would say, the graduation of the internet, right? People always talk about how Web 1 was the first version of the internet when you could just read information that was put there. Web 2 was when you could read and write, so you could respond to things, right? So this was like AOL Messenger, right? These kinds of things that were pretty innovative at the time. You had to start the internet and then wait for it to actually come on, and then nobody in your household could use the landline, right? And then if somebody picked up the phone, they're just listening to all the sound and they're like, what's going on, right? This was the early times of the internet. But so where we are now is we're moving towards, I would say we're at Web 2.5, but we're going to Web 3, which is where you can read, write, but then you can also own your information, your assets, your value, and the things that you contribute to on the internet. But the two questions that I always ask everybody are, when you are going through Netflix or some streaming service, because most people have a streaming service, most people go to watch some show every once in a while, a lot of their time is spent scrolling, so they probably spend more time scrolling than actually watching things. But what is it that you see in a show that grabs your attention, that makes you choose that, right? Is it a genre? Like, what are the things that attract your attention? You're like, this is the type of thing that I like, that I'm going to watch.
Got to be honest, I tend to go on the recommendation service, like how many stars it's got. If I'm not going directly to search for something that I want, recommending something that I've previously liked is probably going to be a surefire bet. You know how it is in Web3. Like, there's at the moment, there's not much money here. It's not like when CNFT started, and any dodgy individual could come in with a promise and a couple of pictures of a dead cat, and everyone would throw $1 million at it just to see if the cat bounced. It's not like that anymore. Like, everyone out here now, we're grinding, we're working hard, we've a vision, and we're building for something that's coming down the line. So spare time in web, if you if you've got spare time, like, I wouldn't mind watching some Netflix. I kind of got time to watch some sport, but that's it. I'm a big soccer fan, so I mean, if I'm watching TV, I'm probably watching soccer. I'm watching some crypto programs and some financial market stuff, tech stuff, obviously, because of what we're in. So the idea of I don't know how to turn off. Like, right now, everything is so go, go, go. Like, we're getting ready for expansion now. So my mind isn't really in a tuned down mode. Probably the last thing I watched that I would say was really good was The Penguin. I thought that was really good.
That's interesting. So I don't even know. I don't think I've seen it. Is it like Penguin, like Batman's Penguin?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a newer one, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it because I was like, oh, come on, like, a spin-off of The Penguin. I wasn't quite sure how they were going to pull that one off, but it's like they've made like a really quite interesting gangster drama out of it, and it's
I'm gonna check it out. I love that stuff. I mean, I love Batman. I like all the things going on there. I will say that I think Heath Ledger was the best Joker ever, and unfortunately,
100%.
that performance will never be topped ever in the history of the world. But okay. The second question is, if you can go anywhere in the world to eat anything, and Charles is buying, where are you going and what are you eating? Right? Give me like paint me a picture of that. Right?
Oh man, there are some great places to eat in the world,
Yes.
but I'm going to Malaysia for some beggar's chicken.
There we go. All right, we love it. I love it.
You ever had it?
I've never had it specifically, but I am definitely a foodie. Everything all over the world, anything that is meat of any sort, I like it and I will try it. I will say, though, I was recently in Colombia, and so I was eating this piece of meat, and they tell me it's this name of this thing, right? And then so I'm just like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then so I'm eating this. It was like almost like yellow chicken is kind of what it looked like. It was tapir, like the like cute looking animal thing. Yeah. It wasn't my favorite, but I mean, I'll try anything at least once.
Man, beggar's chicken, it's a dish I think that came out of China. There's a guy who does it in Malaysia, and like, he became quite famous for it. But like, his restaurant is basically like his backyard. It's a strange deal. But like, he takes the chicken, he marinates it in spices, and then like, he's got a fire pit, and he leaves it in the fire pit, covered in clay for the day. And like, you have to order it in advance, and like, he does duck that way. He's got some really cool stuff, and it's a hell of a treat. It's really, really nice. With a load of vegetables, it's brilliant. I mean, they've got great food. Malaysia is brilliant for food. Like, you can, like I say, you can go from a Wagyu steak to some beggar's chicken. So, they've got some amazing buffets out there. So, yeah,
that definitely sounds good.
But if not there, I'll go around the corner. We've got an amazing Italian, and the pizzas are amazing. So, yeah, I've always got that.
No, that's fantastic. I love it. I think that's excellent. I'm going to ask Craig those same two questions. Sure. So just a moment. Going to do a magic trick here. All right, Craig. So you heard the questions from the green room backstage there. So I'm going to ask you the same questions. When you were scrolling through trying to decide what you're going to look for, what kind of show or movie that you like, what kinds of things are it that draw your attention? What is it that you have to see in order for that to be the choice that you make?
Yeah, kind of similar to what Gavin mentioned, before crypto.
Yeah.
I would say it's the action movie where it's the regular guy, has to work up the courage and accomplish whatever, that is.
I have one for you. I
All right.
have one of my favorite movies ever before in the world. I could watch it 1,000 times and love it every single time. But Trillion Game.
Hmm.
It is a South Korean movie show based off a comic book, but it is so good. For your business development mind, it'll probably be one of your favorites as well because you have this kind of idea guy character, but
Yes.
he sees the vision and he's like, we're going to do XYZ, and this is how we're going to make $1 trillion, right? Make $1 trillion company. And it's just him and one other guy who's just the tech guy. And the tech guy's like, I don't know, but it's amazing. It goes from every single episode is wilder than the last one. And it is impressive, I will say, to say the least.
Since getting into crypto, it is so absorbing, and then
Yes.
it also kind of ruins your, this suspended reality, to enjoy a movie, that kind of thing. I think I've felt that where it's so much harder to have the patience or the interest, for that. But I would say Yellowstone. I really enjoyed watching that series.
See, I've heard that. I've heard that a lot, and I want to go back and watch that. I think my mom and brother were actually just saying that they just watched it and that they loved it. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that as well.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, and then so if you can go anywhere in the world and eat anything, Charles is buying. Where are you going, and what are you eating?
Yeah. So like you, I'm definitely a foodie. But if I'm just thinking, like a one-time thing, probably seafood, is on my mind. Like I would be thinking, Japan,
Yeah,
Osaka, to get,
Osaka, Japan.
yeah,
It's a
sushi.
popular one. It's a popular
Yeah.
choice.
But for just my own experience, like the most enjoyable meal, that it's not that the food was exceptional, but it was really fun, is to have shabu shabu, which is like in Japan, it's sort of like a local neighborhood restaurant. It's the boiling soup sort of, and you dip the ingredients in there. You dip the sliced beef or whatever it is that you've ordered in there, and that's just really an enjoyable atmosphere. So.
That's awesome. So it's called shobu shobu or what?
Shabu shabu.
Shabu shabu. Okay,
Yeah.
so shabu shabu in Japan. I'm gonna check it out. I'm hoping to go to Japan at some point. My brother just went. I have not been yet. It's on my list. But shabu shabu, right? Okay, excellent. All right, so let me see. I think that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask Gavin about what he is the most excited about in crypto, and then we will part ways. I appreciate you guys so much for coming on, and this was a really great talk, a really great show. I'm very excited to hear about your all's updates and new things that are going on, which happen so much more frequently than I expected. Right from the time that we started using Promo Facie to now, you all have just been stepping up the game the whole way through. So it's been super exciting. Anybody out there that has a project and doesn't have a budget for a CM or a community manager or a marketing person, 100% Promo Facie is worth it. I'm going to have all the information for Promo Facie in the description. Thank you so much for joining me, Craig, and we will see you on the next one.
Awesome.
All right. So, Gavin, it came to me afterwards. I really wanted to ask you this question because I think it's one of the most important questions, period. In this space, in crypto, in the innovation of the internet, what are the things that you are the most excited about that are likely to emerge?
Promo Facie.
Well, Promo Facie. That's an excellent answer. It's an excellent
answer. I mean, seriously, what we're attempting to do, I don't think anybody has really understood the vision of it. Like we've been involved, in a gaming project. We're trying to save one that had gone the wrong way. And we've seen the mistakes that they've made. So like at the moment, Craig touched on it earlier, if you've got gamers and they come into a game and they see crypto, they say no, they're not interested. It's a scam. So you're not gonna. It doesn't matter how shiny and wonderful you make the game. As soon as there's crypto involved, people say no, it's a scam. So you've just wasted all of your money. So you can't start by thinking if you build the game, they will come, because there's an impediment. So we've got around that by allowing gamers to come in and be able to transact using USD or any other accepted fiat currency. But we've started saying, well, okay, we're not going to attract gamers in. Gamers are going to come if it's busy. So we need to build a network. And so that's what we're doing. A lot of projects, you buy into it because there's a promise. Well, don't worry about a promise. Like, we've got an NFT mint going on at the moment, and like, you wouldn't know about it. You'd look at our Twitter feed and you wouldn't know there was an NFT mint going on. And that's by design. Like, we've got a community that wanted to be able to buy as much as they could of our NFTs without any FOMO. And so we said, right, we'll have an OG mint, and we'll have 2 months where we basically just do not talk about it, and you can load up on everything that you want, and then we're going to go out and we're going to start talking about it. So if you're looking at it and you're saying, well, okay, should I spend money with Promo Facie? Well, you don't. If you buy our NFT, you're basically putting a deposit in a community fund, and we won't touch those funds until we've delivered a certain amount of technology and until we've raised enough money to pursue our future goals. And if you're concerned, as you've said, there's constant updates on the promo engine. We've been working hard to get that right. It's right now. We use the farm bots. We're in a partnership with them. So our promo engine will work on Solana, Polygon, and on VeChain, just as it works on Cardano. So we're working on a config video so that it's really easy to get people updated and using everything that we're doing. And then we're going to go to Solana, we're going to go to Polygon, we're going to go to VeChain, and we're going to sell it there. We're going to continue selling it within Cardano, and we're going to start generating revenue. And so everything that's done at the moment, Craig, Panos, and I pay for it. Every game that goes on and the rewards that are given out, that comes out of our pocket. All of the server costs, all of the services that we need to pay to access, that comes out of our pocket. The contract we signed with the avatar generator, and currently Panos has stopped because the promo engine's where it needs to be for now. He's now moved on to developing our platform where people can generate avatars, buy custom wearables, do transactions. And now me and Craig are going off to start selling and promoting. We're thinking about things like we've got a partnership between you and us. Now, we've got an interest in seeing you succeed. So we regularly raid your posts and try to boost you in the algorithm. So as we grow and we add more and more projects to our network, then that's more guests that we could potentially refer your way, so that you're able to get an easier supply of the interviews, cut down your workload, and that's more people coming into our server. So when we raid you, that's progressively more people coming and raiding you. With the farm bots, we could probably have Panos create the functionality that we use from them ourselves. But why would we want to do that? Because if we use them, and we've already sold some of their faucets, their big product, that people, even in Cardano, they used the farm bots, but they never bought the faucet. But then they got the promo engine and realized how much they could do if they had a faucet. So they went and brought a faucet. So we're now helping the farm bots make more sales. And when we drive more money towards the farm bots, they get more resources, and their solution is in more servers. So it's getting acid tested. So why build something yourself when you can empower someone else and contribute to an ecosystem that's growing? So why would we want to do like a video show or whatever when we can come and see you and speak to you all the time, and we can supply guests your way and make you grow? So everything that we're doing is about everybody who comes with us. It's not a zero-sum game. Like, if you're watching this and you're listening and you're thinking, should I get the promo engine? Do I need to boost my X? This is going to be a network. Like, our tool for $10 is insane. There is nothing out there that you could get for $10 that does what we do. I'm looking at people that are using competition bots. And the first floor, if you have to leave X, if you have to leave Discord to post on X, then that won't be as effective. You will lose people when they redirect to X, they might do a like and then not bother doing the other stuff. If that can be done via X, you're tripling your impressions. So, you know, do you want to use a free bot that won't get you all of those impressions, or is it worth $10 a month to have those? Is it worth $10 a month to be able to reward your consumers? Is it worth $10 to be part of a network that's growing? And so we're aligning with many, many different people in many different areas to make sure that once we build this network, it's like a conglomerate. It's all of the good projects on Cardano. And you know, once you get to 100 servers, you start becoming too big to ignore. So then there's more people coming and knocking on your door, and that creates a tsunami. And the revenue that we generate from there is enough to sustain us. And then we will generate more money on the platform when projects can create custom wearables, put them up for sale. And when they can host a personal tournament, their project versus another project. When we run a league and you've got project versus project and they're differentiated by the wearables that they're wearing, that's going to make crypto fun. And when you do that, and gamers come in because they see all these tournaments going on and they see people having fun and playing, they can come in and they're not required to have crypto or own an NFT, but they can buy an item with fiat. But then they see that other people are earning boosts for those items in the games, and then they're going and selling them and getting money for it. And they say, how can I get money for it? Well, if you want to be able to sell it, you need to mint it as an NFT, and then you can sell it. So now they're coming to the NFT thing, not because we're saying you must have it. They're seeing the benefit of it. And it's everything, like the treasure hunts, everything that we do, we understand the psychology of how people think. If people want it, it has value. Like if you go to like a rare area that's not connected to the grid and you offer them 1,000 Bitcoins or you offer them a dead sheep, they're going to take the dead sheep every single day because they don't know. But if you show them the potential of how many dead sheep they could get with the Bitcoin, they'll choose the Bitcoin. So you've always got to not force people to have something, but make people want to have it. So yeah, what am I most excited about? And yeah, it's us. It's what we're doing. We're growing. We're not just building the best engine. Like the promo engine would be enough to be a project by itself.
I have one feature request. So this is
Sure.
a feature request that I want to put out there because this is kind of something that I've wanted from other things that we've used before in the past. But so a lot of people in Discord, in different communities, play poker, poker now, right? So poker now, I can send you the link if you all aren't familiar with specifically that.
We use it.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people use poker now. If there were a way to like automate regular games at certain times for your community, and then if there are other communities that you agreed to partner with to have bigger games where the incentives are paid out by each community. So like you said, like leagues, like you could have different communities go against different communities. If there were a way to schedule on a calendar, we're going to have poker this day, this day, this day at this time. And then like other groups that were doing it this day, this day, this day at this time, that you could see when those games are in one place and or combined like with other groups that you like, right? That I think would be massive, which I don't know if technically that's easy or if that's hard or like how labor intensive that is on a build. But I personally like playing poker. A lot of communities that I spend time in play poker. I haven't had time because I've been doing the crypto thing for our project here lately.
I mean,
it's been really
off the
sad,
top of my head, thinking about it, I can think of a way it could be achieved. So in Discord, you can schedule an event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you've got a poker game happening, you can schedule an event so that people can see that this event is upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
And potentially further down the line, we could build a feature into the promo engine where whenever somebody generates an event, like people can cycle through it and see what's coming. And then like if you can filter through alphabetically. So then if you went to P, you would get all of the poker games. So we could, We could probably do something like that. Like, as I say, at the moment with the engine, we've had to, it does a lot already. So it's
No,
ready for
it
going
does.
out.
I'm
And
definitely not putting any
yeah,
shade. You guys do an
no, I
amazing
mean,
job. It's amazing. I just the games are fun. The community gets really involved in the
yeah,
games aspect. I'm excited about the treasure hunt thing. I think I don't know.
well,
I'm gonna try to
we could
do a
probably
treasure hunt.
achieve what you're saying with the treasure hunt. So there's lots of projects even in our network that have poker games going on. So we could go around, produce a list of all of the poker games, and then announce on X that there's a treasure hunt, and everybody who can find the days and times of all of the poker games that are ongoing, wins a prize. And so that way it would work as mutual promotion. We could definitely do that. I mean, that would be a very easy thing to do now. But your idea that you've had, I mean, it's a great idea. And once we've got our platform built, then we the logo behind, like build, build, build. We are a 3-stage process. We're all about promotion and the network, which is the promo engine and what we're doing now. Then it's the platform, the customization, things you can do there. Then it's the games. This is by design. So once we've got the platform completed, the games will be handled by a game developer, and then we'll double back and we'll look at what people have said. So what you've said, we'll take that on board, and then we'll be looking to add more to the engine. So you've seen it get more already, and it will just get more over time. We're just going to keep building.
Love it. All right, so I got to wrap up. We have the live stream in 15 minutes. So everybody, you all will probably see this either during this week or on Saturday. Thank you so much, Gavin.
Do I have time to quickly plug our NFTs?
Yes, do it. Plug the NFTs.
Yeah, lovely.
But
We've got
5 minutes or less.
Yeah. Easy under 5 minutes. We've got our NFTs going. Our NFTs are token passes. So everybody who buys a token pass, they're 53 ADA, and that guarantees you 50 ADA of our token when we launch. We need to raise $400,000 for our target, and we keep all of the money in a separate fund. So if, for example, we sold 1,000 NFTs, and each one, we're getting 50 ADA from it, 3 ADA is going in fees. If ADA hit $8, then 1,000 NFTs is enough. So we're relying on a rising ADA price to create the FOMO for us. So every time our engine goes into a new project, it brings in new people, new interest in our NFTs. So we're not out shilling it crazy, like you must buy this. If you don't get this, you're crazy kind of thing. If you want some of our token, and this will be the only way to get in on our token launch, you buy our token passes. And then as ADA starts rising in price, we will need to sell less and less and less. And that will create a window that's closing. So if you know about it now, you're a serious OG, you're seriously early, and you've got a perfect time to get in. Each one's got letters on it, and those letters are going to be used for a vault that we're going to produce later. Because we're going to collect so many partner tokens, we're going to create a vault every month once we've finished the mint. And then if you can spell the vault phrase, you're going to unlock a load of those tokens. But that's like a side benefit. The main benefit is that 53 ADA spend gets 50 ADA of our token. We're allocating 20 million of our 100 million tokens to the token passes. And then once those token passes are sold, we're pricing the token at 2 cents. The next chance to buy our token, we're going to have citizenship NFTs, where you buy them for $100 and you get 1,000 tokens, which prices the token at 10 cents. So no new tokens can come into circulation until our token hits 10 cents. And we will sell, say 10 million tokens at that price, and then we'll double it. So then no more tokens can come into circulation until we hit 20 cents. And so a proportion of those that are NFTs that are sold, 20% of that is going to go back in staking rewards. So all the time that it's rising and more of these things are selling, the tokens that people get when they buy a citizenship are going to release over 2 years. So it's not like they can buy them at 10 cents and then cut off the run that the token is on, because the tokens that they've got, they can stake them straight away from day one, but they release over 2 years. And so this creates like an arbitrage opportunity. So a lot of the time, and this is one of the problems we saw in crypto, people buy a token runs up, people do staking in the token without increasing the market cap, and the token drops. So the
Yeah.
only logical play when you're buying a token is to dump it as quick as you can. But with our token, like, we're going to allow payment for the promo engine in promo token. So if promo token dips, you're going to have lots of projects looking to buy it because it's going to be a reduction on your monthly fee for paying for the promo engine. And there are lots of other demand factors that we can create. And the only way new tokens can come into circulation is if the price rises. And if you were sitting on, like 1,000 promo tokens and the token price was 15 cents, and you could buy an NFT for, basically priced at 10 cents per token, you could sell your tokens for 15 cents, go and buy the same amount of tokens for 10 cents. The only problem is you've got to wait for them to release for 2 years. But you're a long-term believer anyway, and you've basically taken profit without losing any of your tokens. So, this is one of the big things we're doing, and the only way to get in on that is token passes.
I love that. That's really exciting. I'm definitely going to have to look at getting a couple for our community. We'll see how we end up doing that. Maybe we'll do a giveaway or something special.
3 is the magic number. We've got 2 weeks left of our OG mint, and during the OG mint, if you mint 3, you're guaranteed 1 premium.
Oh, interesting. So then I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 3 for the price, or 4 for the price of 3 doesn't sound too bad. Everybody out there.
Oh no, it's 3, but like, we've got bronze, silver, and gold. So if you mint during the OG phase and you mint 3, you'll get 3 NFTs, but one of them is guaranteed to be premium. The first 2 mints could be premium.
Oh, gotcha. That's even better. I love that.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, I'm going to put all of the links to all this information in the description. Thank you all so much for your time. Thank you, Gavin. It's just
Thanks
a
for
pleasure.
having us on.
And you all will have to come back sometime. Anytime you have something really big that you want to announce, you can always, reach out and we'll have you back. But thank you so much, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, dude, check out Promo Facie. Make sure you follow them on Twitter. And it's one of the best value for Discord bot and just tech, as far as I will say, price to value. The value is incredible. Price is affordable. Everybody should look into this, especially if you want to encourage and engage your community. So thank you all. We'll see you on the next one.